So if you're as stupid as me, the chances are you might get a little bit cocky with your mechanic skills and decide to service your own motorbike. Now, in order to service this thing, there's an air filler and it's under the tank. Now I got a little bit cocky and I decided to just sort of do things by half and just sort of rest my tank, which I've seen done before. And in the process, I broke the fuel pump. So I put everything back together, turned on the engine, and just heard fucking petrol pissing out all underneath the engine. So today I am having to fit a new fuel pump to my Benelli TRK 502X. Here it is, all the way from China, which is absolutely fine because the bike's from China as well. So I'm going to stick this fuel pump into that tank. You're going to come along with me, so that way if you're as stupid as I am, you'll know how to fix it. I've got to drain the tank. I should have done this in the first place, but as I'm an amateur, I didn't realise, and that's how I broke the fucking thing. Got one of these off Amazon, fuel pump. Petrol cap off. We're going to put it into this, hopefully save it, put it back in later. Oh, that's so easy. Back in the day I'd have had a hose pipe and I'd have had to suck it out. This little pump thing's amazing. Probably this point in the video that I tell you to take your bike to a proper mechanic and don't be a fucking idiot like me. Unfortunately, I'd filled my tank up before I did this, so there's full 5 cans of fuel. But luckily, I have another bike, so I'm going to put this fuel in there. Happy days. So that's my other bike filled up with petrol. I've now got an empty tank again. I'm going to continue emptying the fuel tank on the Benelli. So, like an idiot, I thought I had to stand there pumping it. It's doing it on its own. Gravity. Right, tank's empty.
Defensible in the first instance, but move.
Turn my radio off. So, tank's empty. I'm going to put my cap back on. Now what I'm hoping to do is lift this up so that I can get the fuel pump, which is at the back here, and not have to take the tank off completely. I've got a couple of pipes on this here. I've got an air pipe just to sort of let the gases get out of the tank, and I've got a little fuel pump at the front that I'm just going to be careful not to damage. I'm hoping that I can do this. Well, that little bad boy's my fuel pump under there. I don't know if you can see it. Let's have a look. Can you see that there? So that's the fuel pump that's broke off. So I've just got one cable to disconnect it, and then what I can do is I can swap that out with a new one. Let's see what happens. I know you like this unboxing shit on YouTube, don't you? Should get some scissors. One brand new fuel pump, all the way from China, AliExpress, which before you start going, oh, you shouldn't buy stuff off AliExpress, the frickin' bike's from China. Everything's made in China nowadays. That looks magnificent, and all I did, see that? I just knocked that, because the tank fell off, snapped that, that's it, fuel pump's gone. So when I turned the engine on, they started spitting out of there and ended up with fuel everywhere. I've got a new bike mate called Colin that if he's watching this video, I bet he's laughing his tits off at me now, but I'm learning. You got to learn, haven't you? So this is the fuel pump here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts. That's the little bit that snapped. So then that whole unit sits inside there. Replace that. Should be easy enough. We hope. So I think this is a perfect example of why like professional mechanics take tanks off and work on them on a bench. So that's the fuel pump that sits inside the petrol tank. Now you don't necessarily need to remove the tank, it's doable, but if something goes wrong, it can go wrong majorly. So that sits underneath the tank with this tiny little bit of plastic. Can you see that? And that's what connects to the fuel pipe that goes to the engine. That snaps off. That's 200 quid in the UK online. Probably costs you a damn sight more than that to fit it as well. Luckily you can get parts quite cheap, and if you're not scared of taking a bike apart, that's a 40 quid job and a couple of hours. Oh, and a YouTube video. It's not worked yet. So I'll put it all back together, and I've just decided why I love naked bikes, because I'm fucked if I can be bothered doing fairings. I'll buy naked bikes from now on. It's running a dream. I'm leaving it sat at the front just to see if any petrol leaks. But yeah, if you break your bike, try and fix it yourself. Obviously go to a mechanic because they're professional, but yeah, there's something nice about being able to fix stuff, isn't there? There she is, ready for the next ride.